I really believe that you are born into a particular soul. Like, you are who you are, who you are.
It's none of our business. It's none of our business. It's none of our business.
Let's talk about nature over nurture, because we both have experience with this.
Yeah.
You were born in a family, and so, you know, how do you feel about the way that your personality was formed by nature versus nurture?
I actually have a lot to say about this, because me and my mom, my adopted mom, I don't know. So whenever I say mom, I'm talking about like my family that raised me, because I don't know anybody else. We are so much alike. It's actually like weird, and we even look alike. So in the episode that I talked to with my dad, when he went into the office like to pick me up, they kind of like went, like the people who work there were like, what the fuck, because they thought it was the birth mother coming back. Like, my mom looks so much like her, apparently.
Insane.
Like, isn't that weird how that works out? So like, we don't look like I think my sister looks more like that family, but I don't know. Our personalities are like so many things that I do, I'm like, I have memories of my mom doing that as a child. So nurture imprints on you. Like, the way that I parent, the way that I sometimes I'll like yell at my kids and do this.
You hear your mother's words coming out of your mouth.
Totally. Like, and would I have been this way if I was raised in that house or not? I don't know. Like, I think nurture plays a lot, but I don't know.
Interesting. You know, because my experience with it is, so my brother was brought into our life as a baby. Like, same thing, like he was a couple days old or a week old or whatever, and he came into our life. And he was such a misfit. Like, he did not belong in our family at all. Like, he was aggressive and angry, and like, he was that, like, as a teenager, like, we grew up in Calgary, and we're all wearing our jeans and our t-shirts and shit, and he'd be wearing this like belt buckle the size of his head, and he was mean. Like, he was a mean motherfucker, and he would beat us. Like, he would hit us and shit.
He probably had a lot of like because coming from somebody who is adopted, you feel this like sense of like you're like an outsider a little bit, like, and
but I don't know how he would have felt that, because
you feel that whether you're I was not treated that way at all, but I still felt it.
Okay.
Right? So, and I think knowing your story with your mom a little bit, like, did your mom treat him any differently?
Well, she was quite cruel to him.
Yeah.
But she was quite cruel to all of us.
But you guys were at least the natural children, so it sucks, but it's not the same. When it's like you were taken in by this family, but you can tell you're not really wanted, a lot of people will take that and turn, it's like the anger thing.
He was angry and mean, and he used to like beat the shit out of us.
Defense mechanism, could it be?
And his personality just did not fit with us, like, right from the get-go. And like, nature versus nurture, like me and so I have a natural brother and a natural sister as well, and we are all this laid back, soft-spoken, well, I'm not really soft-spoken, but you know what I mean? Like, we don't get riled up about much, and he was just this fucking wingnut. And I literally haven't talked to him in probably 15 years. Like, he's just sort of cut all contact with us, his only family that he knows. And so I think nature versus nurture, I'm thinking it's all nature.
But I think it really does depend on circumstance, right? Like, you can there's lots of people who have natural children, natural families, and they're still estranged from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, I think that just happens to be a coincidence in your case. Because, like, my mom doesn't talk to her sister, and they haven't talked for years, and my dad actually doesn't talk to his sister either. Like,
okay, but here's another story. So I have a friend, his name is Garner, and he was adopted. He was adopted at birth. But he found out later that he had, like, a natural, like, his parents stayed together, and they had 2 other children. So they gave him up quite young, and then had 2 other children. And he found out later that his brother, he walks like his brother, he talks like his brother. Like, they have the same mannerisms, the same everything. So you're thinking, like, it's crazy that I really believe that you are born into a particular soul. Like, you are who you are, who you are.
Yeah.
Like, if I would have met you when you were 6 years old, the things that you found funny at 6, I think you'd still have the same personality, the same sense of humor.
I know what you mean, and I agree for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You are born who you are, and like the way you laugh and the way you act, it's just determined like at birth.
Okay, but yeah, certain like behavioral things can be changed based on circumstances, though.
Yes, and so if you were, beat the shit out of and that kind of stuff, then
like
trauma, for sure, trauma will. But I still think that you are going to be who you are.
Do you think some people are better equipped to handle trauma?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so what would that be? So, like, this is literally, I've never even put any thought into this until right now, so this is, like, a new thing for me, but, like, if there's, like, a family and there's, like, 2 daughters and they both get molested.
Yeah.
Where one gets, like, super fucked up about it and the other one's like, okay, well, it happened to me, it sucked, but, like, I can move on.
And I'm going to overcome it.
Totally. So what is the difference in personality, and, like, how... Is it like, no, you're born as somebody who's going to get fucked up from it, or you're born as somebody who's going to overcome it?
I don't even know why.
It's none of our business.